Hello everyone, my name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. And we are back to Geezer Butler. This is Ohmwork. This is the only one that actually has the band listed on it. So I actually, theoretically, can tell you who the musicians are. So we got Geezer Butler on bass. We got Peter Pedro House on guitars, Clark Brown on vocals, and Chad E. Smith on drums. Pretty sure that's supposed to be Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Not 100%, but I'm pretty sure. Originally released in, I believe it was 2005. Yep, that's what it says on the back here. Originally released in 2005. Ohmwork. I really like the artwork. The artwork's really cool. Both sides there, really kind of, really badass looking. Outside of that, of the 3 albums, this being the 3rd that I've reviewed for Geezer Butler, and there's officially only 3 in the Geezer Butler catalog. There is one more album I'm going to do because I have the special set, the Complete Works. And in that, there is a bonus disc with all the special extra tracks, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to review that as a separate album on its own and use that to wrap up everything at the end. But this album, out of the 3 core albums, I will say that Black Science is my favorite of the 3. I don't know if I like this one more or less than the first album. Maybe on about the same level-ish. This one's a different album. This one's definitely a more, I don't want to say simplified album, but it is. Like, to me, this album has more of a punk kind of vibe to it. A lot more straightforward, simplistic, not really heavy on the, like, it's a lot of riffing, but it's not a lot of, like, actual playing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's more what I would expect from, say, the Misfits, or some of those other bands. Where it's just the straight ahead riff, usually, you know, going at it, not doing too much, not a lot of crazy soloing. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some soloing, but not a lot of crazy soloing, you know, not heavy with the instrumentation, the production, stuff like that. Like, this is a really kind of DIY kind of album, it feels like, and it was produced by a Geezer, so, you know, DIY does make sense. Stripped back kind of makes sense. The sound quality is really nice and crisp. It's got a great modern production crispness to the sound quality, which is fantastic. It's the type of sound production that, you know, I guarantee a lot of bands wish they would have been able to have when they recorded some of the great early punk albums, stuff like that. There's parts of this that really kind of remind me of, like, when Henry Rollins teamed up with Tony Iommi on the Iommi album, you know, just kind of that raw aggression. The one thing I really liked about Black Science is Black Science was definitely a musician's kind of album. Like, there was a lot of instrumentation arrangements. The vocals were really nice on most of it. This album, on the other hand, the vocals are basically a lot of yelling and screaming, which, going back more to that Black Flag kind of punk, you know, that really, you know, I don't, you know, I don't know what the problem, I want to say hardcore, but I don't know if hardcore is the right word for it, but that's kind of what it feels like to me. There is a little bit of playing around on this album, at least as far as the vocals go, like with vocal delivery a little bit. But like I said, bass guitar, drums, very straightforward, very standard riffing in a very punk-like manner. Very just kind of fast, aggressive, in your face for the most part. Misfit opens up the album, lets you know right away what you're getting into. Pardon My Depression, I think, is one of the biggest variations on the album. But even that, it's still kind of the same thing. Prisoner 103, I really dig on this one. I'm not usually one for rap delivery of vocals over hard rock or punk or whatever. On this track, it really works. It really helps push the narrative of the track, which is really cool. I Believe was enjoyable as well. I did enjoy that while I was going. And then the album kind of takes, like, when the first half, so say the first 4 songs almost make up the first half of the album. They're not, the first 4 songs are really good. Gives you a good run into the album, but then that's when you kind of just hit that, everything just kind of blends for me after that. Oral Sex, this one to me just feels like a lot of yelling and screaming. Pseudocide, I enjoyed while it was going, actually. I didn't mind it. I don't think it's one that's ever going to really kind of pop out, stand out. Pull the String was okay. Alone was okay. Dogs of Horror sounded kind of like a lot of yelling and screaming. And Don't You Know was okay. All in all, would I recommend this album? If you're into like that old school hardcore punk kind of shit, when I say shit, I don't mean shit in the bad way. I mean, you know, the shit. If you're into that stuff, you'll really probably kind of dig on this. My knowledge on it isn't good enough to be able to give specifics, but Black Flag is kind of where I want to go. Misfits with the music aggressiveness. Maybe some of the CJ Ramones, kind of Ramones songs a little bit. I could see that a little in there, sort of. So if you're kind of into that, like the more just straightforward or aggressive punk, you know, just a lot of fast riffing and okay, sure. Give it a go. You might actually really kind of enjoy it. It's really enjoyable that way. If you're picking up this album going, it's Geezer Butler, man, you're going to be really like thinking like you're getting some like Black Sabbath style stuff. No. Ooh, and this is quite the... It's really weird with these ones because going from the first album, which name I can't think of off the top of my head, to Plastic Planet. Going from Plastic Planet to Black Science and then finishing up with Ohmwork. It's kind of weird because for me it's kind of like this, you know, extreme bell curve because, you know, to me Black Science is really kind of up here. The other two are really down here. But if you're into, like I'm saying, the hardcore kind of punk stuff, the really kind of aggressive, kind of stuff, it might actually go the opposite way, where it's, you know, these two are riding high, and then you got a major dip in there, I could say. Because Black Science really does feel different compared to the other two albums. Ohmwork is definitely a lot more closer to Plastic Planet to me. This feels like it's a continuation of Plastic Planet. And it's really interesting because if it is Chad Smith of Chili Peppers, who I tried to verify online if it was or not 100%, and it wouldn't tell me 100%. I didn't check hard, but I checked. The drumming is decent, but it's... I'm surprised he did this album because it doesn't have the groove or the hooks. Maybe that's why he did it, because he wasn't looking to do grooves and hooks. He wanted to do something more, a little more aggressive and straightforward. That's, I don't know. Check it out for yourselves, folks. This is, so Geezer Butler, Ohmwork. I gotta have to say, check it out for yourself. If you're into hardcore punk, like I said, you might really dig this one. If you're more classic Sabbath fan, no, this is not an album for you. My views, my opinions. Let me know what you think. That's what the comment section is for. On your way down the comment section in the description, you'll see there's a few links. One goes to the TWA, this Trampoline Wrestling Association. Please check that out. That is a lot of good hardcore work and fun with some great music. Speaking of music, that is the second link. That is the Howling Odyssey. That's where my music endeavors go. And the third link is for Patreon, which you can download my music endeavors at. Throw me some money. You know, it's all cool. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell for notifications. Peace, love, take care.